expansion set review. Today we're going to be looking at Rogue, Shaman, Warrior, and Neutrals. Isn't that right, Drew?
I've been drinking a little bit.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, if we're going to talk about Shaman, and we're going to talk about the meta, then I need a little buzz going.
It couldn't be that bad.
Shaman, no. The meta, possibly.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I don't feel like you need that much to drink.
Well, I also have bread that tastes like banana beer, and that's beer that tastes like banana bread. That's a winner.
Alright, so back to Hearthstone. Oh my god. Okay, so let's get to our first slide. I'm moving on.
It's Tempo Rogue.
Tempo Rogue!
Kind of.
I mean, kind of.
They gave Rogue a lot of things that I guess are supposed to make Tempo. We'll see. Well, you kick us off. You can start talking about whichever card's your favorite.
Alright, so looking at this, I'm gonna start with Mist Wraith. 4 mana, 3/5. Whenever you play an Echo card, gain +1/+1. This is alright, maybe if you run a very heavy Echo deck, and not even like super heavy, since Echo's whole gimmick is that you repeat the card on the same time, on the same turn. So, I mean, if you're able to play 3 Echo cards after having this on the board, it gets an additional +3/+3 just for playing it. Okay, now use map to hurt it.
You have to play a minimum of 1 Echo card to bring this to valid stats. So...
yeah.
You're not going to do it that turn. I just don't see it. Like, this card is alright, but I just don't see it doing everything that Rogue needs to do because of how much Rogue is losing.
Right.
Rogue is another one of those heroes who is on the big loser list for the rotation. Mage being the biggest one. Mage is losing a shitload.
What are you talking about? Druid is left bare and wounded.
Well, Druid has already been Baron. They just still had Jade's carrying them from a year and a half ago. And Jade has just been holding them up for a year and a half while they got nothing repeatedly except for Ultimate Infestation. It's pretty plague.
Right.
So I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, we're not starting that conversation again.
Yeah,
I can't handle it.
But Rogue is losing a lot of the things, not even of their own cards. They're losing Cult Oracle.
They're losing the neutral card that helped them.
Relevant. Like, Cult Oracle brought Kingsbane Rogue all the way up to tier 3. And without it, it will go into tier 9.
See, I want to say that this card is probably going to get better later, but I've noticed that, Blizzard likes to focus on a keyword in an expansion, and then, you'll never see it again. Or you'll see,
any card, you have to evaluate it as, how good is this card if I play it on the first turn I possibly can? Because that is, 90% of Hearthstone is playing shit on curve. If it's good on curve, it's good. And I just don't think this is good on turn 4.
On turn 4, what's the stat line that you would want?
I would want it at least a 3/6 to drop it on turn 4, preferably a 4/5, so that you're just threatening you're threatening more to trade with. They can't just trade in a few things that they want, and they can't just trade in a high health war attack. There's a bunch of X/4 rushers in this set, and I don't know. This isn't bad. This is not a bad card. I don't know exactly why I'm so down on it. I think I'm down on Rogue as a whole right now.
I don't know why you're so down on this. I mean, I'm giving this card a solid 3. It's gonna see.
I'm giving it a 3.
It's gonna see some play.
It feels like a mediocre 3.
I mean, it is a mediocre 3.
And Rogue deserved. I like Rogue. I like Rogue a lot. I haven't liked Rogue for 6 months because they've been in this weird spot where they only have annoying gimmicky decks. They had like Prince K Rogue, and they had Kingsbane Rogue, and I'm not sure about the viability of any Rogue deck in this current climate. We'll
Well,
see.
I mean, I think, True, that with the Echo mechanic, the quest might actually come back.
There's a chance, but I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Yeah, I'm just saying I picked it up again by accident when I was opening up packs again, because...
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, because I disenchanted... I had a gold version, I disenchanted it when it...
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, you dump that shit, you get your 3200 gold dust.
Yeah, like, when they nerfed it, I was like, okay, well, out, and then I got another one
Why
as...
don't they nerf Hunter Quest, damn it?
I have a gold one of
It
those,
doesn't
too.
deserve it, but why don't you just nerf it? Just so we all can get our dust.
So we get our dust back, and it's just not good. I know, and I have the gold version of that, too.
Wow, you got a lot of gold quests.
Drew, I have a lot of gold cards.
Cursed Castaway. 6 mana, 5/3. Rush, Death Rattle, draw a combo card for your deck. So 5/3 on a rush. That means it's on turn 6. That means it's dying to whatever you traded it with. So this is 6 mana, deal 5 to your opponent's Void Lord. Draw a combo card. Who cares? That is just firmly not good enough. You would have to build some kind of strange deck. The only time I can see this being good is if you built some really weird deck where it's like a bunch of draw cards, a bunch of cheap shit, and then like the only combo cards you have are like other draw cards and Edwin, and you're just like trying to dig for an Edwin for a big Edwin turn. But why would you do that in the current meta?
I mean, I could see that being a real deck. Because Edwin's not easy to get as a one-of in your deck.
No, I know. But in the current meta, so if you're using this to get your Edwin, starting turn 6, that means they have access to all the silences they want to run.
That's true.
I just don't think this is good. I'm giving this a 2. I really don't think this is good.
Okay, so I like that it's Rush. I like that it's a Death Rattle, which means you're probably killing it, and it's drawing a specific type of card. I don't think this is a good card by any stretch, but I mean, I always get that quest where you gotta play combo cards. I would put this in.
This is probably waifu of the set for me.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, of course you would choose something that's not even alive.
Ghost titties, man.
Oh my god! I was wondering where that was coming from. Anyway, this is a 2 as well. I mean, I agree. It's a 2 card. It's not good. But I have been waiting sort of to specifically see where that comes from. Okay, so moving on. It's a little disappointment of a card. So Cheap Shot. It's a 2 mana rogue spell. Echo. Deal 2 damage to a minion. I want to say that Backstab is a great card. And it costs 0 and does 2 to an undamaged minion. This is just...
We'll cover that again later.
Yeah.
We'll cover how good Backstab is again later.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about. But this, you spend 2 mana and you deal 2 damage to a minion. You can't go face with this. I mean, why aren't you just...
This would be really cool if you could go face.
If you could go face, this card would be...
This would make, like, potentially, it would make, like, Mally Rogue a thing again, which was a really fun deck.
You would find a way to cheat out stuff. And I don't know how you'd do it, but you would find a way.
You'd probably use that Molten Catacombs, Death Rattle, get a 1/1 copy of something from your hand, and to try to make some Malgoses.
Right.
And then Cheap Shot, like, 3 times.
Yeah, and I think that would be really cool.
It'd be a blast. That would be a really fun combo deck, but... Blizzard hates combo decks unless you're Inner Fire Priest. So
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna run Cheap Shot, why not just do Eviscerate? Because there's a higher potential of dealing more damage, and then you can choose versatility of face or minion versus like, okay, well, I can cast this a bunch of times, but it's really not that good.
The only thing I can think of is if you're like really, really trying to build a big Mist Wraith.
I mean, that's what you do.
Your opponent has already played their 2 silences.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. That's a reasonable thing.
I this card is. I don't want to say it's terrible because I feel something about it says to me that it's not terrible, but it
It's
kind
very
of is.
fair, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I'll give it. I don't know, man.
Okay, so
I guess
I'm going to give it a three.
I guess I'll eke out a 3 for it.
I'm
But
giving it
it's
a three,
bare.
but only because this will be a decent arena card. Because in arena, you're really going for board control more so than anything else.
This is
And
barely a 3. It really is.
I know, I realize that, but
It's okay because the card I'm going to talk about is even worse. Wanted 4 mana. Deal 3 to a minion. If that kills it, add a coin to your hand. I guess this is their pity toss to Miracle Rogue because they're losing counterfeit coin. I'm just gonna break it down for you. The hard truth: Miracle Rogue's not gonna exist after tomorrow. Miracle Rogue was barely alive for the last half of this expansion, like clinging onto life desperately and losing counterfeit coin. That kills them. This kills the Miracle Rogue.
I'm gonna be honest. If there was certain cards that would go into like a standard set, I think the counterfeit coin is one of them that should.
I think
Like,
there are a few excellent cards from last year that should. I don't know if I'd put counterfeit coin on that list, but
see, when I think of rogues, I always think of combo stuff, and it's nice to have those activators or to just do more with it with gadgets
counterfeit
done.
coin did a lot for Rogue in general,
Auctioneer.
and lacking it is going to hurt them in the coming year. They're going to
Yeah.
have to find a new identity.
Oh well, they better start
Anyway, this is
working
the
on it.
one. This card blows.
Yeah, it's a
Three damage with a conditional tackle on that is mediocre for 4 mana. Like, oh my god. Man.
again. Why didn't you just run Eviscerate?
Yeah, why didn't you run a Eviscerate for half the cost?
Yeah,
Do more damage.
Drew. I don't like that we're green so much. These must be really bad
Because
cards.
we're agreeing about how sad half these rogue cards
Yeah.
are.
We've already sort of touched about the Hench Clan Thug. I'm not.
Yeah, I just put him here because he definitely lives in a Temple Rogue deck. You know, turn 2 dagger, turn 3, you play him and hit. Now he's a 3 mana 4/4, and that is good.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. That's where he belongs.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's on this page. Because look at the rest of this page. Was I going to put all bad cards on it? I mean,
It's just sad that the best card on this page is a neutral.
not a rogue card.
Man, that's poor. All right, moving on. This is just sad. Burgle Rogue.
Because Blizzard decided to go all in on memes for rogue this year.
But here's the thing. I always loved the spell Burgle. So why wasn't this a thing before it all rotated out?
So that's part of it. So let's just talk for 1 second about Burgle Rogue in general. Burgle Rogue keeps getting weird little pieces of support, but they're always separated. Like the second that they got Swashbuckler and Hallucinate, the actual spell Burgle rotated. And then you get this, and Swashbuckler rotates. And by the time they get more support, Hallucinate will rotate. So
Right.
they're very schizophrenic about whether they want Burgle Rogue to be a thing or not. And the reason is that random cards from your opponent's class are not good.
Right.
Like, cards from their deck, which Priest gets, are always better. So and we'll talk about that a lot more when we talk about the big card on this page. But let's just start.
Okay, so I'll start.
Blink Fox.
Blink Fox is, first of all, the cutest probably card of this whole
Yeah,
set.
that's cutest card of the set right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Right
3 mana, 3/3, Beast,
there.
Battle
Goddamn
Cry.
adorable. I want a golden copy of that card.
Battle Cry, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. This card is awesome. Like,
The card is deeply playable, which Rogue is happy to receive.
this is arguably the best rogue card.
3 mana, 3/3, get a random card, which, Swashbuckler saw play as a 1 mana, 1/1, get a random card. I
Right.
think that proves its viability, and the only downside to this card is that Rogue has a lot of contest for the 3 slot. So, they're going to have a lot of 3 mana cards, possibly. but this isn't bad. I like this. I go to 4.
I'm I'm gonna go out on a limb here because I gotta be honest. I'm gonna put this in like every one of my rogue decks.
That's fair.
So I'm going 5 just because it's just a great
Knock
card.
yourself out.
Great card, man. All right, you can talk about the next
Spectral
one.
Cutlass. Spectral Cutlass. 4 mana, 2/2 weapon. Comes with lifesteal, and whenever you play a card from another class, gain +1 durability. So, I don't actually think this card is like abysmal. A lot of people like immediately look at it and they're like, "Oh, it's worse Kingsbane," and they're not wrong. It is worse Kingsbane, but I think it serves a little bit of a purpose, just in that you can just kind of play it out. If you have like 2 cards from your opponent's class, you have an okay weapon for a few turns that comes with lifesteal, and the biggest downside is mana cost. If it were 3 mana, this would be very, very playable. At 4 mana, that's a lot harder to ask for.
I think that this card is relatively. It's okay. I think what it should have said was lifesteal whenever you play a card not from your starting deck, gain +1 durability. Because if you play against a rogue, this thing is all but useless.
Everything on this page is almost useless.
Yeah. Well,
that's well, no. But
that's not true.
That's part of the problem, and I should fully agree. I think that should be. I think that should really be Rogue's thing. Is that like they get triggers off of how many cards did you play to even start with, and the generation is their identity because they're rogues. They steal things. They get things out of nowhere.
Right. I agree with that. So
I fully am on board with that idea, but Blizzard isn't.
well, I mean that's sort of the way it goes. So,
so I give this a 3. That's probably being generous.
So, okay, I'm gonna give this a 2, and the reason I'm going to give it a 2 is because I always have a knack for getting the worst epic weapon and getting about 9 of them.
Did someone have 8 bladed gauntlets?
9 bladed gauntlets.
9 bladed gauntlets.
Do you know how I only got like 13 epics. It's
Why
depressing.
Why didn't you craft Mayor Noggenfogger for the memes?
True. I wasn't wasting my stuff, and I'm a meme person, but I was not wasting on him. All right, moving on. Pickpocket, a rogue spell, 2 mana, echo, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Burgle was 3 mana and I got you 3. This one you can play over and over again, but it costs 2 apiece.
Burgle only got you 2.
Did it only get you 2? I thought I got you 3. Man, that was worse than I remember. It's been a long time since I played a Burgle Rogue. That's not good. I mean, if you're specifically building a deck with Tess Greymane, which we haven't gotten to yet, then I can see why you're playing this card.
Yeah, because you're just trying to find fuel for her.
You're trying to find the fuel, and the fuel will be epic. And this is a Trollden video right here with these specific 4 cards.
This screen right here, take this. This will be in Trollden tomorrow evening, probably. It'll be one of the first bullshit things to show up.
Yeah, it's like, because you play Tess Greymane, and then you play all the cards she got over and over again, and then you bounce her back, and you do it again.
It'll be Rogue versus Mage. Here's my super bold prediction. I'm predicting a Trollden clip. Alright? It's Rogue versus Mage. The Rogue gets 2 copies of Deck of Wonders, plays them both, plays Tess Greymane, plays them both again, and then plays Sprint, and you turn on the sax music, and something happens.
Right. So what you're saying is that we're going to play these 2 decks tomorrow night.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Okay.
But yeah, Tess Greymane, 8 mana, 6/6, very weak, very poor stats for an 8 mana card. But Battlecry, replay every card from another class you've played this game, targets chosen randomly. This card is This card is like, I want to love this card because it's a neat flavor and a relatively neat effect. And it's the first time that Burgle Rogue has a win condition, if you want to be so bold as to call it that. It has two big problems. One, the cards you're getting are random. So if they were mediocre the first time around, replaying them won't help that a lot. And two, if you're fighting a rogue, this literally does nothing. Her battle cry does nothing. She becomes a dead 8 mana vanilla 6/6 in your deck. And that's just depressing.
Right.
So it's like, if Tempo Rogue is a viable deck that sees play, this instantly isn't, because you'll be fighting too many other rogues to play it.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, though, there are other ways to generate cards other than Pickpocket Bling Fox.
But not from not your class.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, you still have the Journey to Unguro, where you can get that card pack.
How are you, as a rogue, fighting another rogue, getting Journey to Unguro?
Why not? It's a high value card. 5 mana, get a
How
pack.
How are you getting it?
No, not Journey to Unguro, the card. I mean, you get the card pack with Elise Starseeker.
Oh, so you're playing out a whole control shell just to get a little bit of value out
Oh
of it.
yeah, her and the Lich King. Those two will get you cards that are playable with this.
Lich King cards are not technically from another class.
I think they are.
We'll have to test this to see, but I'm pretty sure that they will not.
I think that it was addressed on stream that would work that way.
I mean, if so, okay, neat. You're still playing a very controlly rogue.
Well, maybe that
And
might be
always been a hard spot for them to deal with.
that may be a new way. I don't know.
Alright, let's just look at the other rogue cards.
Okay, first things first. What did you rate for Pickpocket?
Oh, I'm sorry. Pickpocket, I gave a 3, and Tess Greymane, I'm gonna give a 3, but in my heart, I know she's like a 2 or a 1.
Okay, so I understand. Okay, so Pickpocket's a 3. Tess Greymane, I'm giving her a 4 because I love the idea, and she's gonna be able to swing a deck when things go wrong, but that's about it. So that's it. All right, other rogue.
You can talk about the one you want to.
Okay, fine. All right, so Face Collector is a 3-mana 2/2 Echo battle cry. Add a random legendary minion to your hand. If you can't tell the excitement from my voice when I read that, I when I first saw this card, I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool. And then Drew used math and made it so boring and terrible. The meanie. But that being said, I think that this is kind of cool. Not to mention that you're adding a random legendary minion. So these could be from other classes. And Tess Greymane could resummon them. Because Tess Greymane works on minions as well. So this could possibly go in a Burgle Rogue.
Card sucks. It's just bad. Math continues to make random legendaries bad. I don't see that changing at any point in the future. The fact that you can play it 3 times is neat and all, but that just means you play it a 9 mana 6/6, and then I guess bounced one back into your hand so that next turn you can play a 10 mana 8/8 that has no real impact on the board whatsoever. See, this is the weird one where, like, it's bad, and I don't even care that it's bad. I'm like, well, it's a 1. Moving on.
Alright, well, I'm not giving it a 1. I refuse.
Obviously.
I refuse. This card's really cool, and it's going to see some really niche play. It's not great, but it's not a 1. I mean, I'm going to give it a 3. It's not a 3. It's really a 2, but I'm going to give it a 3, because I want it to be better than what it is.
Cutthroat Buccaneer is Naga Corsair cut in half and made worse. And Laga Corsair already only saw play because Kingsbane was viable. This card will not make Kingsbane viable, so it is bad.
Agreed. I mean,
It's a 2.
yeah,
Like,
it's a 2 at best. I agree.
Maybe it's used some weird niche play and something, but I don't even. I don't know. I just don't. It'll be if Kingsbane Rogue attempts to exist, it will be in it. But I don't think Kingsbane Rogue will be successful without.
well, they lose
And
most
without,
of their buffs. That's the problem.
they lose a great deal of their weapon buffs, which is a big problem for them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I've played Kingsbane Rogue, and I enjoy with Buccaneer, and he dies, and you buff the Kingsbane, but this is you have first of all to even get the effect, you got to combo with something.
Combo, yeah. Like if it were Battle Cry, it might be alright.
If it was just like Battle Cry, maybe. My rating scale is based on 1 to 5 stars. So, someone asked that. 1 being, oh my god, dumpster. 2,
I'm typing it up.
super niche. Oh, you're typing it up? Okay. Cool. Or we love it. True. So 1 is just terrible, 2 is niche, 3 is mediocre, 4 is very playable, and 5 is OP. Though, just because we like a card doesn't mean that we can't get a little bit of bump up. Alright, so...
Sometimes personal emotions get in the way of our rating.
They do. Yeah, they do.
I'm just going to say that I think Rogue might be the first class... Okay, that's not a lie, it's Druid. But Rogue didn't get any 5s.
I gave it a 5 with the Fox.
You give that's fair.
Yeah, nothing else got a 5 though. That was... So, okay, cool. Moving on. I think we're done with Rogue.
So Shaman. Start with Elemental Shaman.
Alright, I'll start with,
Elemental Shaman got a little support. I wouldn't call it a lot of support.
well, I mean, they already have a bunch of elemental cards. Like, that's one of their main things, aside from Mage. So, let's start with a 1-mana Blazing Invocation spell.
I put this under Elemental support simply because most Elementals have a Battle Cry.
Right.
So
I agree.
Good odds you get that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Discover a Battlecry minion. I rate this the same token of a guy from Warrior, where it's a 1-mana draw a taunt, discover a taunt, and that card was terrible.
That card was never very good, and I kind of agree entirely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like 1 mana, find a thing of a type, and probably Journey Below was the best of them.
Yeah. Well,
but
I think that's because Death Rattles have value, and it's a 1-mana card, which allows you to combo a bunch of stuff with Rogue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Rogue got other value out of it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I have this, so I can actually play my Eviscerate. I can play this.
Like there's something here for Shaman wherein they're getting a lot of Battle Cry synergy, if you want to so generously call it that.
I would call it that. I think Battle Cry is sort of their whole thing now.
But I'm still iffy. I'm still giving it a 2.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 2. It's, I mean, the only
Don't
reason...
get me wrong, I think that there actually will be at least like 1 Shaman deck this sees play in, but there's more than enough chance that it just gets optimized.
Well, I think that this is only going to get play in a deck where you have the Legendary, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Because
you're right.
You're going to want more Battle Cries, and sometimes if you can get something from a different class...
serves your purpose.
Yeah. Just one more life drinker.
So Earthen Might, give a minion 2 mana, give a minion +2/+2. If it's an elemental, add a random elemental you pick to your hand. I actually think this is very good. Just like it's a lot like Mark of Yashar.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see Mark of Yashar's synergy, and if it's an heavy elemental deck, sure, but I don't know.
I think that this doesn't even need to necessarily be on an elemental. Like, yeah, getting the bonus effect is good. But you play a 1-drop. Excuse me. You play a 1-drop. Your opponent plays a 1-drop. You play this on it, and then you trade in your 1-drop. and you still have yours probably because +2/+2 is a good stat bonus. It's like it's not like some perfect drop or anything, but it's viable. And if even Shaman exists, this will be in it for sure, because your one drop is a totem, and you give a totem +2/+2, it'll kill one drop and live.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. I'm just unimpressed with this card overall. I.
It's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
I'd give it a 3. I don't know if even Shaman will really take off or exist. I think it has good chances compared to a lot of even decks, but I don't know.
I'm giving it a 2. I don't really find this interesting and it's super
Yeah, that's fine.
niche.
I don't like disagree with that kind of reading.
So, all right, Bog Shaper, a 7-mana 4/8 elemental. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. It's a lot of mana, but I mean, it's got to live a turn for you to really play spells. I mean, Shaman does have some cheap spells, but I mean, some of the spells that you might be drawing, or playing, they have Overload because it's one of what Shamans have. I don't know. I just don't. It's okay. I don't have a lot to say about this card, to be honest.
It's overcosted to me. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a strong effect. Like, drawing a minion guaranteed whenever you cast a spell. Shaman has a lot of cheap spells. Shaman's spells are very below average mana cost. They like largely cost below 3, and that's pretty viable. You could draw like 2-3 minions in a turn.
I mean,
but 4/8,
yeah,
4/8, and no action to the board on turn 7. Yeah.
yeah. It's the stats I don't like. I mean, even if it was a 7-mana 7/7 that had this effect, it would be better than whatever this is.
And it's an epic. I give that a 2.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get 2 of these at least, because I don't like it. That's how it always works.
I give it a 2.
Yeah.
I don't think, even in like Elemental Shaman or RNG Shaman or whatever is casting a lot of spells, I don't think this will find a summon.
I mean, I give this a 2 only because I see some weird synergies with Hagatha the Witch as the Death Knight, not Death Knight. Well, I guess she's not Death Knight. She's the new hero, the legendary hero in Shaman, and for her, whenever you play a minion, you get a spell, and whenever you play a spell, you get a minion. So he just has like sort of the opposite effect. You could be generating a ton of stuff, assuming that you can play a lot of low-cost minions with low-cost spells.
Yeah.
So, but it's a 2. Anywho.
So now we're on to what I've dubbed Casino Shaman. Because what the shit is this?
You don't have the hero power up here. It's sort of important.
The hero power is passive whenever you play a minion, add a random shaman spell to your hand.
Right, so that's Hagatha the Witch. Battlecry, deal 3 damage to all minions, so it's Hellfire. Except it doesn't hurt heroes, just minions. And she's 8 mana for 5, and you get an additional 5 armor. And then your hero power changes to a passive one, which this is only the second passive hero power that is gettable. The other one being the rogue one. So, rogue DK. She's okay.
She's okay. The hero power is interesting. The hero power is obviously necessary for a lot of the shenanigans that people want to pull with her. I think she's a little... I think she's like 1 mana too expensive. But that's probably because at 6 mana she'd be broken and they wanted her to work in even shaman, I guess.
Yeah, even shaman would be perfect. Or you can get really lucky and draw her.
So I think she's okay. She will definitely be deck defining if she's in the deck.
Right.
Just have to make it in. I'll give her a 4 though. I think she's very powerful.
Yes, I mean I
Uh,
agree with you 100%.
and
Hagatha the
they
Witch
did
is
for
4.
once. Uh, not they did for once. Give Shaman some good spells. So they've skewed the pool a little bit in the side of you'll get a decent spell from the RNG spell. But random spells is still random spells.
Right,
It's
but
still
I mean
swingy. It
if
could
you
still just go very poorly for you. You could still it's still statistically possible for you to just roll Totemic Might for every single or
that's pretty low though for every single spell you're going to get. But I mean in the same token, I mean there's a lot of spell generation like the Witch's Apprentice, which I'll talk about now because they sort of go in conjunction here and there. The Witch's
yes.
Apprentice is a 1 mana 0/1 beast battle cry out a random shaman spell to your hand. So you're getting a spell from her. I mean, and when you play her, and if you have Hagatha already out, you're getting another spell. There's the little flame elementals where you play one and then you get another 1/2 in your hand. You play that, and it's 2 more spells. I mean, it's you can just make this engine of getting spells by just playing minions. So it's and then use that to uh, do whatever you want. And again, that's why it's Casino Shaman. You can just sort of hope for the best and high roll lava burst to your face until it's over, or
We saw Casino Mage get some success when their spell pool was skewed very heavily towards positive, aggressive spells, and Shaman's is kind of there. I don't know if it's there enough to. I don't know if it's there enough. So like I said, I'm giving her a 4. I will give.
Why don't you have the cauldron in here? The cauldron would be.
I did forget to put the cauldron up here because we talked about the cauldron yesterday,
Did
but
we?
it should have been on this page too.
Yeah, cold.
I give the Witch's Apprentice a 3. Just because I think it'll see play even if it's not an RNG Shaman. It's a 1 mana 0/1 taunt.
Get a free spell. This is the book that can't attack. That's what this is. And I'm giving.
But a taunt is useful for Shaman. Shaman's always had a little bit of issue getting out aggroed.
Right. I agree. I'm giving her a 4 though. I think it's a better card than that.
That's fine.
I like the idea of being able to continue to generate spells and do stuff with that. Turn 1, you get a taunt.
Baleful Banker. I put on this page because it synergizes heavily with the Infinite Shudderwalk.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about Shudderwalk.
He's a 2 mana 2/2. Choose a friendly minion, shuffle a copy of it into your deck. He's just he's a lower statted neutral Manic Soulcaster.
You had to for Manic Soulcaster to work. She was she was in Highlander, right? Wasn't she a Highlander card?
No.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, I ran her. I
ran
ran her in my Highlander deck, specifically so that I could put Kazakas back in my deck and other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this card. This card's cool. It's decent.
I think it's okay. I don't know what other deck really can. Because for other decks, his main thing here is that he can put Shudderwalk back in your deck if you want to potentially draw him later, which isn't even the best use of him. But it's even the best use of Shudderwalk's Infinite Chain. I don't know what other deck wants an extra copy of something and has the draw power to reliably find it.
Well, obviously, Hunter is looking for Emerus again. That's a joke.
I know it's a joke.
He is an epic card though. He's gonna. I might have to craft one of him. Maybe.
I'm giving him a 3.
Yeah,
but
he's a 3 for sure.
But I do think he's a little more niche than I'm considering.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's very nichey, but
Tango for Mystic gets a 2. I put it on this page because we didn't have any other good place to talk about it, and it kind of flows with the idea of RNG Shaman. You just add a random minion and hope that it has a good battle cry you want. But it's a really It's really a crappy card. It has like a fair stat line and a mediocre effect, but it also gives your opponent an effect.
I mean, the
And
stat line's good. A 3-mana 3/4 is fine. It this
yeah,
this is the spell slinger mage card, but instead of a spell, you give a random 2-cost minion, and every so often you get a Doomsayer in your hand, or your opponent does.
I did watch someone run the math on 2 mana minions because Vex grow,
Right.
and your Doomsayer odds are 1.5% right now.
See, that's not terrible. There's a lot of 2-cost
That
minions.
happens one in every 100 games. That's or one in every like 78 games.
Or in Drew's case, every other game
Every other game.
because of his luck.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give Tangled
Either
for
happens or
Mystic. Uh, I'm gonna give it a 3. I hesitate to give it a 3, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I give it a 2. I just don't see it.
Yeah. Okay, so now for the main event of Shaman, and I like talking about this card, is the Shudderwalk. 9 mana 6/6 battle cry. Repeat all other battle cries from cards you played this game. Targets chosen randomly. This card is ridiculous, and apparently, like, Ben Brode is super terrified of just having this card out there.
Okay, so let me just say that I don't think that's a good qualifier because Ben Brode was terrified of Lear Sunshard. So
I mean, I'm just
that's a good
saying that,
thing.
like, apparently he's seen things that make this card, like, we can't do that, and it's like, alright, we're already doing it, so... I think this card's going to be great. It's going to be super memey and really fun to play. Not fun to play against, though. Like, it's going to not be fun.
So, well, first off, this card's a 5. It is overpowered, and people will build decks around it. That being said, so we are currently at day -1. The expansion comes out in the future right now. We're at day -1 of the expansion. People 2 days ago figured out an OTK combo for it that they can reliably pull, theoretically reliably will pull off. You go Murmur Grumble, so that Grumble puts a 1-mana Murmur in your hand. You played a Serenite Chain Gang or 2 at some point in the past, which makes a lot of sense because you're trying to live till turn 9, or turn 10 rather. Well, turn 10, you Murmur Sugarwalk, because even though he plays the battle cries in random order, if you Murmur and Elemental him, that means he guarantees to play Grumble after at least one Serenite Chain Gang and so on, which puts a 1-mana Shudderwalk into your hand. Which also means that he grumbled back your Murmuring Elemental. So that means that you have a 1-mana Shudderwalk and a 1-mana Murmuring Elemental. If you do not die that turn, you can now play essentially 9 Shudderwalks next turn. That will all do all the stuff and add infinite Shudderwalks to your hand.
Not to mention that if in an elemental deck, there are a lot of battle cries that just go face.
See, now, because the elemental battle cries are all targeted, and you can target friendly things with it, so that's dangerous. So why not just use battle cries that specifically target the enemy hero, like this Bloodsucker?
The Life Drinker?
Life Drinker, yeah.
Yeah.
If you played 2 Life Drinkers before your turn 9 combo, then your turn 11 will deal over 150 damage to the enemy. So that's a thing. So that's a thing.
Okay, so this card's a 5 for me because I love it.
People will play. People will play. This card makes this deck exist, and this deck existing immediately puts the entire meta on a coin flip. Okay, right here.
I love it.
Because so this deck will exist. Period. It's not a question if the deck will exist. People have already written it up. People already know what the deck is. We saw this before. We saw this before with Raza Priest. Like a week before Knights of the Frozen Throne came out, people had already written up Raza Priest. They're like, "Look, here it is. I bet it works," and they were right. They were beyond right. So, if it works the way it does, this is the meta deck. This is what other decks will play to beat, And that means that the meta will get very aggressive because your goal is to kill them by turn 10, without question. Um, if this does not beat a Warlock, then Warlock continues to be the deck to attack around. But yeah, this deck is going to define the meta one way or the other. If it's the good one, this is what we play around. If it's not good, then we are back in the old meta. Because Shaman, if there's a class, so Warlock has a big weakness to Polymorph. Mage is going to be in a sad place, so they lost that competitor. Priest had run the most silences, so Priest was the biggest thing holding Warlock down. And frankly, they're looking a lot worse going into the new expansion. They're losing a lot of their Dragon package. They're losing a lot of their Tempo package. So, Shaman is like the other class that has the potential to do it. Shaman was in the dumpster. If this brings them out of the dumpster, then they will contest Warlock. Warlock's rate will fall. Shaman's rate will rise. The meta will shift around it. If Shaman can't do it, the other two classes that could just went down a tier. So Warlock will just become more down.
Alright, so I just want to say one thing about this card. And Shaman in general. I personally don't like playing Shaman, like usually ever. But this card makes me want to play Shaman again. Like, because at one point I enjoyed it, but then it just hasn't been good for a very long time. And now, this gives sort of like Shaman a new life on Hearthstone, and I'm really excited for it. And that's why I gave this card a 5.
I'm mildly excited simply because I unpacked the last expansion.
I did too. You and I both got him. I think it was one of our first legendaries, I think.
It was.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've talked as much as we can about Shudderwalk. The rest of the discussion is simply a wait and see.
Plus, it's a play on Jabberwock, and I love the Jabberwock. Anyway, moving on past Casino Shaman.
So here's the rest of the Shaman
Here's
cards.
the other.
So Zap. 0 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion, overload 1. Hey, remember Backstab? It's worse.
Yeah, it's way worse.
This is just the kind of worse Backstab.
But you know what? You're gonna want this.
No, you still want it. Like that, I think that says less about how good this is and more about how good Backstab is. The fact that you'll take downgraded Backstab in another class. You're like, oh yeah,
right.
Give it over.
I mean, this is going to help you control the board if you're getting random spells and you happen to get Zap. It's like, alright, cool.
Yeah, but you need to watch the overload. That's always fun.
Yeah, so I'm going to put this as a solid 3.
Yeah, I can agree. With that.
Alright, next. Cold Light Angler. It's
Ghost Light Angler. You
Ghost
just say
Knight.
Cold Light because it looks exactly like a Cold Light Oracle.
Oh my god, it's a dead Cold Light Oracle! Oh my god! It's a dead Cold Light Oracle because it just went to the Hall of Fame. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Blows.
I just got that. Alright.
This card won't save Murloc Shaman.
Ghost Light Angler, 2 mana 2/2 Murloc Echo. This is a great Murloc card for Murloc Shaman. Only in Wild.
Wasn't good when Murlocs were actually good.
Only in Wild.
That made Murloc good, just rotated out.
Right. So only in Wild. And so I will give it.
I give it a firm 1 because I hate Murlocs.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3. I have more appreciation for this card now, just because of it's a dead Colite. But that being said, I will be playing this in Wild probably if I ever decide to do the Murloc. And plus, doing the quest for Shaman, this is great. I mean,
Work Spark Eel. Battle Cry. 2 mana, 2/3. Battle Cry. If your deck has only even cost card, deal 2 damage.
Why couldn't this have been an odd cost card?
No, because even Shaman makes a lot more sense, I think.
But
Shaman
you can't do the Jabberwocky.
Hero power most turns. Shaman wants to hero power most turns. Shaman wants to keep Hex in their deck. Shaman wants to keep Hagatha in their deck. This card, if even Shaman is viable, this card will be in it, and this card will define it, because this is their early tempo that gives them the power to do everything else they want to do.
Yeah, this card's alright. I'm getting 3. It's decent statted for 2 mana.
Yeah.
It's also a
Yeah.
beast, and it can deal damage, and it
I'm
has
not
it has a
100%
caveat.
sold that even Shaman will exist, but if it does, this is in it.
Right. Alright, and then we have... would you rate it?
I go to 3.
Okay, so Totem Crusher. It's a 4-mana 2/3 beast. Taunt. Battlecry, destroy your totems. Gain +2/+2 for each destroyed. I think this card is just awful. Personally, first of all, if you look right next to it, for half the mana, you get a 2/3. This is also a 2/3. And it's also a beast. And to eat your totems, I mean, totems aren't that great all the time, but sometimes they're not bad. So, I don't know. I think this is a dumpster card.
I think you need to have at least 2 totems on board to make this worth it, and you probably will.
Yeah, people target totems for whatever reason.
Because they know that something stupid might happen, like you're gonna take Totem Cruncher.
Right.
Not to mention the fact that, like, so if this will only be viable if an even Shaman exists, because that's the only time you're going to be hero powered twice per turn 4, unless you grab a really shitty draw.
What I hate about this card is that it's epic, and that means I'm probably going to get this card instead of one that I want.
I give it a 2.
This is a firm 1 for me. I don't like this card at all.
I see just enough situations where it might see some play.
All right, we'll see. All right, are you ready? Are we?
So what if you you hero power on 1? You're an even Shaman, so hero power on 1. Turn 2, you play Flame Tongue Totem and hero power again. In turn 3, you play Flame Tongue Totem and hero power again. And then on turn 4, you have this monstrosity, and then on your opponent's turn 4, you get silenced.
Drew. Again, I don't like this card. I gave it a 1. We talked about this. I gave this card a 1. You just... I like how, like, it's like, oh yeah, I gave this a higher rating, and then, like, you put...
And then I shit on it.
Then you shit on it.
I shit on it.
And, like I was defending it. I gave it a 1, and I was ready to move on the second I got done reading the card. Alright, so I think we're out of the Shaman territory now.
We are.
There you go, Drew. It's what you've always wanted to see. Warrior.
So I love Control Warrior. I played it last meta because I hate myself, I guess.
Gosh, you're still playing this deck? What's wrong with you?
I am still playing this deck.
Not this one. He hasn't had these cards.
I want to open with the big Black Hal Gunspire. 7 mana, 3/8. Cannot attack. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. I love this card. It's not that good. It's incredibly okay. Unless you try to build around it, in which case you, like, do a lot of work and save a lot of cards to make a weird combo out of it, and that combo gets beaten by a lot of things. So, I love this card, but I can't give it more than a 4.
Okay, so you're giving it a 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so Black Hal Gunspire is definitely an awesome card. I love the card. I love the idea. It is so cool, and I think that it's great in rage decks or lots of whirlwinds. I mean, if you have a really cool like golden rot face, this also super goes with it. You could be blowing up little minions, getting through taunts, going face. I mean, this is one of like the cooler legendaries of this set. It's not like spectacular, and like the community actively hates this card. But
it's just again,
you can enrage this and then keep dealing damage.
Love, but it is ruined by Matt.
This has soft taunt though, I think.
Kinda, but at the same time, like a Void Lord shits on it for existing.
Oh my gosh. You and this Void Lord, just get past it, Drew. They're dead.
Have you not played Hearthstone in the last 4 months?
Oh, I have. It's a nightmare. I know, because I play the deck. It's what it is. All right, so I'm giving this a solid 4. I really want to make it 5, but I I don't think it's that good of a card. So all right,
Yeah,
so let's move
because
on to Deadly Arsenal. It's a 6 mana spell. Reveal a weapon from your deck. Deal its attack to all minions. So we've only seen one other card like this, and that is the mage card, the fire. What's that? What's that?
Dragon's Fury.
Dragon's Fury, which you draw a random. You reveal a random mage spell, and then it deals that damage to the whole board. Does it do the whole board?
Yeah, it's the whole board.
Yeah, so that's what this does. Um, if you're running big weapons, sure. You know, Gorehal's dealing 7 to the board. That's going to clear almost.
Gorehell and Arcanite Reaper, really the only two weapons worth considering for this
Right.
card. And
But that means that you can't run lower weapons
it means
because.
you can't run the good warrior weapons.
Yeah.
So this card, and like warrior doesn't need more symmetrical board clear, and especially it doesn't need more symmetrical board clear for 6 goddamn mana.
Yeah.
This is a 2, at best. I don't actually think it'll see any play, but
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will try it.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm at a 2 with this one, too. It's not that great, and I hope I don't get a bunch of copies of this.
Festeroot Hulk. After a friendly minion attacks, gain +1 attack. Again, how does this card feel when I play it on turn 5? It feels like shit. This is bad. This card
Well,
is...
I mean, if you've developed the board already,
If you've developed a board, you don't need it.
why doesn't it have Rush?
It's a great question. Like, if you've developed a board, then you don't need this card. And if you haven't developed a board, this card is bad. You need, like, to bring it up to like on curve stats, you need to hit with at least 2 things the turn you play it. Probably 3 things really, if you want it to be threatening on turn 5. And it's just not good enough.
Yeah, this is a
It
2.
really is.
I'm not a big fan of this card.
I'm actually gonna go all the way in and give it a
Oh,
1.
you're giving a 1?
I
Wow.
really don't think it's playable.
I think the only reason I sort of am okay with this is if there's a lot of like low cost rush minions that even if you have 2 rush minions, this will be a 4/7 for 5, which isn't that great, but I mean at least it's doable. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Worgen Abomination. 7 mana. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other damaged minions. This is a Sleep with the Fishes sort of effect. Sleep with the Fishes was 2 mana, and it was run in most warrior decks,
And it dealt 3.
and it dealt 3. As I said, it's like the effect, but it's not as
Yeah.
good.
You do get a body here, and it's not a bad body. It's understated for 7 mana, but it's not a terrible body.
So, I mean, it does target all minions. It's not just, you know, enemies, or else this would be this would be better than what it is. But this card's pretty terrible.
I think it's playable in the right deck.
All right, so 2 it is.
I probably can't do more than a 2. You know,
You can't,
It's- I want it to be a little better than it is,
but it's not.
but it's not. Yeah, that's just what all there is to it. Warpath, on the other hand, 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions with Echo. This is, again, we've talked about this, big theme of take a 1 mana spell, give it Echo, it's now a 2 mana spell. This is Whirlwind with Echo. But frankly, for Warrior, that's fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good at hurting
Whirl-
themselves and others.
Whirlwind with Echo is great. I give this a 4 because I think that a lot of Warriors will play this not just because we're losing Sleep with the Fishes, which hurts quite a lot, and we need just some big damage to the board. It's very controllable. It's all in separate pings, in which Warrior kind of benefits from more than most other classes, unless they're running Acolyte of Pain. But honestly, by the time you're playing this for 3 times or more, hopefully them drawing an extra card or 2 isn't a deal breaker for you because you're control warrior.
Right. I think this card's great.
Um,
It's fine.
this will absolutely see consistent play. I don't think that this will, regardless of whether control warrior is good or bad, this will be in it for its lifespan in this expansion.
Right. And Black Howl Gunspire will take full advantage of being hit a bunch with this. So,
In my heart.
all right, Rotten Apple Bomb, which we talked about before,
Did
but
we?
yeah, well, I rate things
I
as
do have a rating for him. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I thought we hadn't talked about it yet. But yeah, he kind of fits into control
He
warrior
fits
on
the
level.
control warrior. Yeah, I gave him a 3 though.
It,
I'm gonna be
he's,
honest with you. A lot of
he's
people
that
are rating
viable
him.
5-drop taunt. That's where
A
we're at.
lot of people have been rating him higher than like what we're looking at. So this might be a card to look out
He could
for.
be a little bit of a sleeper. He could be.
Yeah.
But I'll keep my 3. I don't think he's gonna go much.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my 3
He could-
too.
He
But
could verge on a 4, but not past that.
yeah. No, I wouldn't say past for that. Okay, so anyway, so I'll go to Phantom Militia. It's a 3-mana 2/4 Echo and Taunt. So it's you can play this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and you can get a lot of these guys out. Taunt's nice. It's a decent card for Echo.
Yeah, this is a very good card. I put it here because if Taunt Warrior exists, this will be in it for sure. You get half your quest done on turn 9 just from this being out there. It is a perfectly viable card. You could put out on turn 3 if you have to, and it's perfectly viable if you save it till 6 or 9. It's just all around decent. It's probably verging on a 4, but I'm gonna be conservative and give it a 3. I think it'll see play Warrior, possibly Hunter, and less possibly some sort of weird rook that's trying to live for a long time.
Yeah, I like it. I can also see this in a Warlock deck that plays the Summoning Portal. Because you
Yeah,
can...
but why not just play a Void Lord?
Okay, Drew. I get it. You are jaded, and I use that term knowing that Jade
I
was the
thought you
thing.
loved me for my salt, right?
I do, but man, you can lay it on thick sometimes. I mean, we didn't even open the packs and get terrible cards.
Let's go to the next slide, which actually has the cards that gave Warrior.
Drew, I think it's so funny that you made one card incredibly big. Okay, so Drew, I'm gonna let you go first. You can pick whichever one you want.
Well, I'm gonna pick the epic. I'm gonna pick the first epic we actually won.
Yeah,
Town
you're
Crier.
right.
Town Crier is excellent. A 1-mana 1/2 draw a specific kind of useful minion from your deck. Bam, that's the good shit right there. I give it a 5 because I think that even if all of Warrior's rush minions are shit somehow, people will play this to draw other rush minions in War. And Tempo Warrior will probably end up being one of the more viable forms of it. So, yeah.
This is a solid 5 for me. I mean, it is a good body. Like, anytime that you get more than a 1/1 for 1 mana is great. And that
If you're only getting 1/1 for 1, you picked the wrong 1 costs.
I mean, and yeah, you picked the wrong 1 cost. That being said, you're getting an extra health.
You can play a dire fucking mole for 1/3.
Yeah. So you can get this, and it has an ability to draw a card, a specific card from your deck. This is a great card. 5 stars. And
it draws everything on this page except for the axe.
except for, yes, that's correct. That being said, I'm gonna go Darius Crowley, 5 mana 4/4 rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. I think that this is a decent minion. Like, I mean, you can draw him on turn 1 with Town Crier, and on turn 5 you run him into something, kill it, which is possible, and then it'll be at worst a 6/1.
Decent, yes. but super playable. I'm not fully convinced yet. His stats are poor. I think your best chance of playing him is the kind of dream scenario where you play him, you finish off a woodcutter's axe to give him an immediate buff to a 6/5, and then hopefully you somehow let one of your opponent's one-cost minions sit around for a long time, and you kill that so he only takes like 1 damage and goes to a 7 or an 8/5, and that makes him decent.
I mean, he has soft taunt. Anything that he is essentially like a well.
He has soft taunt, but he's very easy to kill. That's a problem.
Well, I know, but he continues to grow. He is a growing thing.
Yeah, but every time he grows, he hurts himself.
Well,
that's very easy to kill.
Well, warrior hurts itself because it loves itself. That's how it works.
they're losing. Give a damage minion, whatever.
Yeah. Well, no. Rampage is still a thing in standard.
I guess.
I mean, he's a damage minion. You give him +3/+3. Well, now he's an.
Do you really think Rampage is a playable spell though? Like it takes a deck slot.
I think that if you're going to invest in this specific mechanic, you play it.
The problem is you can't. Again, if we are in a world where Warlock is the dominant deck, and they're the dominant deck because Void Lords and cheating out minions and everything is the dominant mechanic, then everyone's running silence. So that means you can't invest in a big minion because he's so susceptible to silence.
I don't know. It's okay. I mean,
you can't play a win condition that can be beaten by a 4-mana 4/3.
Oh my god. No, I'm not talking about a stupid dragon anymore. I'm done with him.
No, I'm talking about silence. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Dragon,
I thought you were talking about that rotten dragon that you brought up about 8,000
Dragon's
times.
3-mana 5/4.
It's a 3-mana 5/4. Okay, so what are you rating him?
Say it out loud, Michael.
What are you rating him?
I give him a 3.
All right, I'm gonna be super generous here and give it a 4. I'm gonna. I think first of all I love the name Crawley. That helps, but
I wasn't aware we had such strict requirements for what gets a 4.
yeah, we don't.
That's not a good name.
We don't.
Alright, Red Band Wasp. 2-mana 1/3 rush has +3 attack while damage. It's definitely on the weaker end of the rush minions that Warrior got. Or that exist, period. It's not bad. Like, if you can play this on curve and trade it successfully into your opponent's 1 mana, like if you can kill your opponent's 1-drop with this, then it is a pretty good minion. But that's a condition that you just have to meet. And it won't be good later in the game, for obvious reasons. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's good enough. I think it'll be in early Warrior decks. I don't know if it will stay there.
Alright, so this is solid 2 for me.
Same. I assume your thoughts were similar.
Yeah, this is not great. And you know that it's an enraged mechanic, but they got rid of that keyword.
Yeah, God forbid they use a keyword here.
Alright, so Rabid Worgen is a 3-mana 3/3 rush. This is also a bad card.
It's fairly statted. Fairly statted things suck.
Which makes it really bad.
2 stars.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's 2 stars. There's not a lot to say. Moving on.
Militia Commander, however, 4-mana 2/5 rush. Battlecry, gain +3 attack this turn. So the turn you play it, it's a 5/5, and then it goes down to a 2/5. So it's purely an aggressive trade card, and I actually think it's a pretty good one. I think it's quite good. I see Tempo Warrior playing this a lot because that means on turn 4, this card alone enables them on turn 4, whether they're going first or second, they can probably successfully trade into whatever their opponent just played. That's good for them. they haven't had that ability in a long time. I give it a 4.
Yep, same. It's a good card. I think that if you draw either Militia Commander or Crowley with the Town Crier, I think
You'll be
either
happy.
I think either one of those are reliable, and I think if you only have 3 rush minions in your deck, it'll be those 3. I mean, you may want to go more, but it's more reliable to draw 3 cards than like 8. So Woodcutter's Axe, 2 mana, 2/2 weapon, Death Rattle, not Battle Cry. Give +2/+1 to a random friendly rush minion. So we've already talked about the ideal situation of giving Crowley more attack and more health, and this, if you're doing this rush thing, this is a need have. I mean, you pretty much curve out with this page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I wouldn't put the Raging Morgan. I would find a better 3. Uh, I mean, let's be honest. But because I mean, you can even make the commander, the military commander, 7/6 on
7/6
turn
on
4
turn
that hits only
4/6.
minions.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
That's an
it's
excellent
stupid good, and then it keeps the +2/+1, so then it'll be a 4 whatever health you have left.
whatever health you have left. Probably like a 4/3, 4/4.
Yeah, and that's still not bad because you
5.
not only traded, but then you still have a threat on the board the following turn. So
Yes.
so Woodcutter's Axe, great, giving it 4. Moving on.
I'm going to only give it a 3. Hear me out.
Of course.
So good 2 mana weapons have always been pretty defined in Hearthstone, and I think this is a good 2 mana weapon. It'll see at least some play. I don't know if it's good enough if you're not going to go all in on Rush. And I also think that Rush is a mechanic where you don't necessarily want to go all in. You want just a few of them to keep your tempo up while you play for a larger strategy. So, yeah, I'm only going to give it a 3 just because of that.
That's
I
fine.
don't know how viable it is if
I gotcha.
Rush isn't the dominant feature of your deck.
Right. No, I gotcha.
And
Makes
there is
sense.
no other warrior page because that was all the warrior cards.
Yeah, you know, it seems like there were less warrior cards, but there really weren't.
Warrior was the only class where they actually focused on a concept.
Yeah, who would have thought? Hunter had like 8 pages.
Hunter's like, here's some cards. Hey, some are a dragon.
Oh, goodness. Interesting neutrals. Oh, intriguing neutrals. So why is Lost Spirit here?
Because maybe some zoo deck finds
Oh
a way
my
to play it. I don't know. I want a third card for this page.
I gotcha. I gotcha. But why is Lost Spirit here?
I give Lost Spirit 2. I don't think it's actually going to see real play.
So
Some people are rating it a little higher.
Drew, can you read the card?
Maybe if it permanently gave the rest of all minions you ever play +1 attack.
Well, then it would be stupid.
Then you would play a 2 mana 1/1.
Yeah,
But as
100%.
it is, I don't see this scene play
Yeah.
in a zoo deck that is running 2 cost minions. I don't see it seen play being good enough to not run Prince Kelsa with decks that are in that.
Yeah, seriously. So Lost Spirit, I gave it a 1. It's not good.
Splitting Fester Root. 8 mana 4/4 that splits into 2/2s, and the 2/2s split into 1/1s. This card is so deeply, terribly understated. I can't even start. It's like an okay summon in like Arena or from Free from Amber or something, but it's not. I'm not gonna put it in a deck for God's sake. If you in Wild, I guess if you Barnes it, you're not displeased, but who's gonna be dumb enough to play Wild with Barnes still there?
Well, I think that this card has some deeply rooted problems.
Not going for your pun.
That come on, just give me this 1, man.
I'm not going for it.
Anyway, I actually really like this idea. I don't think it's a good card. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't.
I think this needs to be a 6/6 to see actual play.
I think if it was a 6/6, it would be stupid.
Why? It's 8 mana. Like, fuck's sake.
Well, because this is technically an 8 mana. Let's see. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an 8 mana 10/10. This is an 8 mana 10/10.
Yeah. Who cares?
It's split among the world. Anyway, I'm giving it a 2 just because I like the design. I think that it will see some sort of weird niche play where, like, you do some sort of thing where it brings it back to life, and then you're having like this chain of minions, and then if you can like buff the board, maybe it's not great, but again, this is going to be one of those cards that will be perfect for one Tavern Brawl and one Tavern Brawl only. Specifically, the one miniature one where you get one ones.
He'll be good in the miniatures brawl.
Yeah, like 100%. You would definitely have him.
There you go. You found it.
I found it.
You found the brawl. He's good.
Yeah, that's how you fit in these cards.
Very proud of you.
I try really hard. All right. So finally we have Gilnean Royal Guard, 8 mana, 3/8, Divine Shield, Rush. Each turn you have this in your hand and swap its attack and health. That's not bad. Like, you can...
You want it. You always want it on the 8 attack full.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's essentially an 8 mana, deal 8 to a minion, get an 8/3, get an easily killable body.
So what happens is when you draw this on turn 7, you smile at your opponent and go, well played.
Now, I gotta point out that so that's a mediocre effect to begin with. 8 mana, deal 8 with and then get a body afterwards. That's a pretty mediocre effect, and it's only good half the time. There's a reason that this is the only Worgen we've talked about. This is a mechanic that leads to inconsistency, and inconsistency is literally what gets filtered out of decks when you start making.
Right. But this one is tolerable.
This one is the only one that is potentially good enough to, like, try to play. And it's even then, I don't really see it sticking around very long.
No, I don't either. But I mean, I think that this will be great for when I'm trying to complete the Divine Shield quest.
I guess.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'm giving it a 2.
That's fine.
And I gave Splitting Fester a 2 as well.
All right.
And I'm giving every other Worgen that we haven't talked about a 2.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The rest of the Worgens are all 2s.
Like, I'm giving it 2 to everything that isn't in the rest of this presentation because they were all uninteresting.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to see the rest of the presentation. I'll go through the list really quick.
Next slide. Next slide has everything except for the legendaries.
This is... Oh, it has everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go for it. Voodoo Doll. 3 mana, 1/1, Battlecry, choose a minion, Death Rattle, destroy that chosen minion. I like this card a lot. I think it's gonna see play. This is great if they have a high health minion and you defile it. Like, I like this card. I like the idea. I mean, don't get me wrong.
This is very, very strong.
N'Zoth would make this a lot worse, but N'Zoth is out.
It's very strong. I'm a little bummed out that it's so good in Warlock.
I'm bummed out that it's a good card.
It's good in Mage, it's good in Rogue. It's very good in Warlock, sadly.
This is the kind of card that I hate to craft.
It's useful in Hunter, especially if you have Hellmaster Shaw on.
With that stupid Hellmaster.
And I'm sure other classes will find ways to play it when they need to, because it's simply powerful.
Well, Mage can just ping it, or turn it into a water elemental.
Yeah, Mage probably has the second best use of it.
So I'm giving this a 4. I think it's going to see some play.
I give this a 4. I would like to point out something actually very important about this. So this is one of the only ways to easily kill Tyrantus.
Yeah.
Who, if you're playing against a spiteful summoner deck who can reliably hit 10-cost minions, Tyrantus is now, after the rotation, a 1 in 5 chance. If they hit their 10-cost spell, if they hit Mind Control or Ultimate Infestation with Spiteful Summoner, there's a 20% chance that Tyrannus shows up at your door.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
So this card is a way to kill it.
Drew, I disagree with your one, because I was looking through the rest of the list of neutrals. I'm gonna give the Doctor a 3, the Deranged Doctor.
I think the Doctor is terrible. 8 mana, 8/8 that has no direct impact on the board and tries to stall that late in the game.
It heals you for 8.
Yeah, so did fucking Anti-Keelbot, and that came out 3 turns earlier. It wasn't a sack of shit.
I gave it a 3. I'm just making that note, but the rest were 2s. The rest were pretty awful.
And the rest were 1s and 2s for me. They were all terrible.
Yeah.
Clockwork Automaton, I only bring up. He's very mediocre, but I only bring him up for the memes. He's gonna be in meme decks. It's gonna be great.
Drew, I'm gonna give him a lovely 4 because he's my win condition in Warrior.
I've already made Meme Hunter that involves him. I will be playing it on day 1.
I'm gonna quest warrior this guy, Drew.
Lose, and I will love it.
Drew, I'm going to quest warrior this guy. I'm gonna do it.
This guy is Meme City over here. I can't wait.
I gave him a 4. He's fun. I like him.
I can't wait to play shitty greedy decks with him.
I can't wait to deal massive fireballs to people's faces with Ragnaros.
I can't wait to lose because I'm playing 2 Clockwork Automatons in my deck. Anyway.
Alright, so I'm glad that we like that card at least. Jeez.
Yeah, so now we're on to the legendaries. Obviously, these are the 3 neutral legendaries we haven't talked about yet.
Right.
Because they're all big enough to talk about on their own, even though we've mentioned them in other discussions.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to start with the middle because the other 2 should be talked about together.
That's fair.
So Countess Ashmore.
Another contender for Witchwood.
Yeah, she's definitely 2, as opposed, and my other girl's number 1, but she's definitely number 2 for me. Countess Ashmore, 7 mana, 6/6, Battle Cry. Draw a Rush, Lifesteal, and Death Rattle card from your deck. We saw this from the Curator, but the Curator drawed a Beast, Dragon, and a Murloc. Yes, and I used him in a Paladin deck, and it was great because I would always draw 3 things, and it was ideal. I see this being playable in a couple different decks. I think
Just say it. It's playable in Warlock.
It's playable in Warlock. True, it's playable. It is playable in Warlock. Well, Death Rattle, sure, and then there's Lifesteal, and the Rush minion is also a possible thing. And certain cards you could actually draw 2 of because the one card has both Rush and Lifesteal, so it's a decent card. I mean, I'm giving this like a solid 4. Like,
I give it a 4, but I do have reservations. I'm concerned that the kind of decks that really want to play it, it will just be a little too slow for them. Simply because Curator had Taunt, which slowed down your opponent's aggression, and most decks used him to draw another guaranteed Taunt and board clear in the form of Primordial Drake. She can't really do that. She's not going to draw you a Taunt. Probably. I mean, some of your death.
That's not true. I mean, the Apple Bomb is a taunt that has Death Rattle.
Right. So she might draw you a taunt, but she's not going to draw you an on-curve taunt. Probably. And she doesn't have taunt herself. She has a lot less board impact. So.
But what's interesting about her is that she doesn't. It's not just minions. She can draw you things.
Correct.
That are not minions.
She can draw Valenier. She can draw
the
Warlock spell.
The Warlock Lifesteal. Yeah, I mean,
but largely, I like her a lot. I don't think she will be as prominent as Curator.
Plus, she looks so cool.
She does look very cool.
All right, I'll let you choose.
Now for the pair of deck-defining monsters. Again, Greymane and Baku the Leader. Essentially, both their stats and mana costs are shit. Not you don't actually want to play either of them. But at the start of the game, if you again and you only have even cost cards, your hero power starts cost 1. Your starting hero power, God forbid they allow Raza Priest to continue to be nerfed. And Baku, if you only have odd cost cards, upgrade your hero power. The same upgrades that Justicar True Heart gave, which are largely relevant for most classes.
I take it you don't have a slide with them on it.
I don't.
That's okay.
They're relevant for most classes. Let's just go down quick. Druid, you get 2 attack and 2 armor.
Which is really nice.
Hunter, you deal 3 damage instead of 2.
My
Rogue,
face hurts.
A 2/2 weapon.
That's terrible.
It's mediocre. Mage, you do 2 damage on your ping.
That's good.
Shaman, you choose your totem.
That's... You should be able to do that anyway.
Warlock, you do not spend health to draw the card, you just spend mana.
Yeah, that's okay.
Paladin, you summon 2 guys instead of 1.
That's really good.
Class set. So Priest, you heal 4 instead of 2, and Warrior, you gain 4 armor instead of 2. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
So most of those are pretty good. So most of the cards that classes got to support these ideas are mediocre at best. The 2 standouts are probably Black Cat for Odd Mage and Electric Eel for Even Shaman.
I agree.
Black Cat may make Odd Mage viable. I don't know if Mercspark Eel will be enough to make Even Shaman viable.
Not if you're going to play Jabberwock.
Baku's big decks that people are trying right now. Dog, yesterday, a prolific streamer, plays this pretty well on Legend and occasionally in a tournament.
Never heard of him.
He played on stream. He decided to try to play Odd Hunter. He used as a substitute. He used Sogoth the Slytherin to represent the dead 9 draw that Baku puts in his deck. And he played Odd Face Hunter, essentially, where you go hard, you hero power as often as you can. He was very successful. Not only, he was keeping a little tally on the side of the damage he would have done had Baku been in the deck, like the extra damage. Not only was that good, but frankly, he was winning games without it. So I think that will be a very viable
That is
deck.
terrifying.
I think it will be a very viable deck. I think Baku Mage will be pretty viable, just because they have excellent odd tempo things. They have to give up Polymorph for it, which is very scary meta-wise.
But hear me out. They can draw random spells very easily. That's sort of their thing.
Can they, though?
Well, I mean,
think about their random spell generations and what those cost.
Yeah, they can be expensive, but not really.
No, I mean what they cost in terms of even or odd. If they go odd, they give up a lot of random spell generation, and they lose Catalyst Tome to rotation.
Well, what about did they lose the book?
Yes.
Okay, that's bad. The Elemental Jewel, is that even or odd? I don't remember.
That is odd, so they won't get that.
Because I could see an Elemental deck with that, because I can easily generate 3 spells out of that sucker on a regular basis.
But most of your good elementals are even.
Are they? Oh, yeah.
A lot of the tempo ones.
Well, I mean, if you're playing something like Servant of Kalmos, I mean, you can actually draw some.
And they're also giving up Frostbolt and Fireball for this. So it's an interesting deck. It'll take a little bit to find its identity, I think. But I think it could exist. Again, Greymane, Shaman and Paladin are the 2 most viable even decks. Shaman because they got support and they can still run most of the cool stuff they got this expansion. which is really the only thing relevant because everything we got in the last 3 expansions was total shit. So who cares if they're running it?
Right.
And Paladin, because like people have just been gear crafting, what do you really need in a deck besides 2 Call to Arms and Tarim?
Yeah, seriously.
But
What
there's
what
3
do you
cards
need?
in the deck. Sure, why not make the rest of the deck even?
I want to let you know that I was playing a deck today where
Which means that they can flood the board even faster. That means the turn 7 Tarim is 2 dudes, and they can turn to 3/3s.
Drew, I want to let you know that earlier today I was playing against the priest. He psychic screamed my board after doing Call to Arms. I just did it again, and he automatically conceded. Like he just couldn't.
Yep,
That's how sick that card is.
yep. Let's not even discuss the terrible, terrible fact that even Call to Arms is probably getting a little better because you can, if you're going hard even and you're looking for things that Call to Arms summons, you get a 2 mana rush lifesteal. You know.
Yeah, not to mention that you don't have to sacrifice consecration.
So if we're getting, yeah, you can
Equality
have equality,
consecrate.
consecration, Tarim.
You don't sacrifice board clear.
Yeah. So you get your jugglers.
Yeah.
Fine, you're set. In fact, your juggler's even better because your turn 3 juggler is juggler and 2 dudes.
Right.
Oh.
So not bad, not bad at all.
I would like to bring up one thing. I think more odd decks are viable than even decks. That said, even decks are technically more efficient here. Hear me out, just mathematically.
Oh, jeez.
An odd deck, well, okay, an odd number plus an even number is always odd. An even number plus an even number is always even. Odd plus odd is always even. So, an even deck can play a minion of the best cost possible and hero power to use their entire mana bar in a turn. An odd deck has to play a minion 2 turns ago and their hero power on an odd turn to use all their mana, and they can really never use all their mana except for a turn 2 on an even turn.
Do you remember in Charlie Brown when the teacher would talk? That's what I just heard.
I'm saying that the odd decks...
No, I get it. I get what you said.
efficient.
I'm just saying that was...
Yeah.
That was math incarnate.
So let's move on to the final slide.
Alright, cool. Wait, you need to rate them, Drew.
Oh, I gave Baku a 5 because I think many decks will be built around him whether he's good or not. I gave Gen a 3 because Even's a lot harder to work with, and I did Count as a 4.
Okay, I gave them both a 4. I'm the exact middle of you. I love their design. I think it's cool what they're doing and trying to run different archetypes without actually adding a really new big mechanic is pretty cool, and I hope that they expand upon it in the future. But right now, I give them both a 4. They're both going to see some play. I want both of them. So, oh Jesus, what's this?
This is just some of the ideas for decks that I've seen people talk about. What do you think the meta will look like? That's what we're talking about here.
Okay.
What do you think the meta will look like?
I think the meta will look like no one's going to play Druid again unless they have a quest. Or they go into the wild, get the dust off the Jades. Hunter will always go face, but I think that mid range will try, and
Mid-range has better chance of trying.
right, and I think that that's cool. But that's sort of it.
I think if Priest is alive at all, it will be in the form of tempo or combo.
Okay, so hear me out. I think Priest is gonna be fine. Like, I know everyone's like talking that
I
they're.
really think that you're underestimating just how much of their core package they're losing.
I think they are fine in Wild, and there's no reason for them to ever come out again.
Glad you've come around to my view of Priests.
I don't necessarily. I mean, I look at their cards and they're not that great, but I think that there's going to be some. Do you have a Lady in White deck listed here? Because
that's kind of tempo Priest.
okay,
that's
well,
kind of the idea.
I think that that's going to be fine. I think that if I get Lady in White, I will make a Lady in White deck that's going to be really fun, and it's only going to work a portion of the time. which is
I
fine.
think I think priest will be much worse, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, hear me out.
I think mage, rogue, and druid are all competing for that slot in the dumpster.
No, I don't. I mean, no. I think Druid won the dumpster. Like they won they won that prize that said thanks for coming.
Druid Druid seems to have this attraction from high skill players.
Because people like
So
Druid, like me. Because I'm a high skill player, Drew.
are you? So Druid gets this attraction from high skill players, and high skill players will find a way to get out of the dumpster. They'll come up with some zany antics
Yeah, I know, and I
to
can't wait
get
to copy it.
to get out of the dumpster. So I think that it will probably start in the dumpster, but its tenure there will be short.
I mean,
Whereas I'm not so sure for Mage and
I think
Mage.
I think Mage is fine. I think Rogue is.
Mage,
Rogue's got some hard
I
times.
think Mage I'm fine with getting worse because they're pretty annoying.
But they're not going to get worse. I mean, yeah, sure, they don't
They
have.
are. They're losing. Most of the cards that you currently associate with Mage are leaving.
I know, but they have so much card draw now, and
Yeah, but what do they do after they draw those cards?
they play them,
That's
Drew.
the problem. It's the same problem that Handford had.
True,
Like,
just-
okay, you filled your hand. How do you win?
Just imagine playing Toki the Time Tinker on turn 6, and then you play Doctor Boom turn 7. Like, it's gonna happen all the time.
And Rogue, man, if the only hope is Tempo Rogue. If Tempo Rogue can't take off, see you, Rogue.
I think that if you can, I think you'll get the quest off with Echo minions, and I think that people will try that, and then if it's viable, they will continue to do it, and I think that that would be viable.
The power of the quest was always how early you could make it happen.
Right, and I think that
Echo minions don't really help with that. There's no 1 mana Echo minion in Rogue.
True. I don't have all the answers. I only have some of them. All right, moving on. I think Paladin's fine.
See, I do have the answer. I said, click the screen. There's part of the answer.
Click the screen. You want me to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Do Paladin's fine, man. I like Do Paladin.
And then if you click the screen again, you hit the real answer.
True. I didn't think it was gonna ever stop spinning. I just thought you just had a continual spin.
I would have, but I didn't know how to set it up.
Yeah, I know.
Again, my terrible prediction for the meta is that if Shaman can't break Warlock, then no one will.
Right.
I think it comes down to that. If Shaman comes in and takes a dump on Warlock, then they will reshape the meta around them, and that will be good.
I think Shaman can do that though. I feel like they have the tools.
But if they fail, if Shutterlock fails to make Shaman the dominant deck, then Warlock is here to stay, and as such, the answer of Dude Paladin is there for them.
Right.
Because Dude Paladin was the only deck that could try to compete with their speed. They try to kill Warlock before they do their bullshit.
Right. No, I agree.
They're the only one fast enough.
So that makes
both of those decks are losing very little.
Do you even have?
Warlock is on the verge of gaming power. Like, oh god, it's disgusting.
Do you even have Warrior on this list? Oh, there he is. Aggro Warrior. Yeah,
he's hiding over there.
That's stupid.
I think if a Warrior is viable, it will be Tempo Warrior. In my heart, I want it to be Control Warrior, but I just don't see it right now.
Yeah, I know. I wish it was Control Warrior too, but it's not. I mean, I think we talked about a lot of stuff, and there's a lot going on. So how about we go down our entire list and do our averages for the classes, the neutrals, and then common, rare, epic, and legendary.
Yeah, Michael, I also, on my own sheet, I added a little column just for an average of the whole set, if you want that formula.
Oh, Jesus. How am I supposed to do that? Yeah, Drew, I know how to do Excel.
I don't know. what you do.
I do excel at work. Like that's my thing. But I can. It's actually nice that you put it in there.
Yeah. So
I like how you
So
colored
for
it too. That's funny.
commons, 2.55.
Commons 2.8. I'm only
I
doing
think
I'm only doing
my
one decimal point. I'm only doing one decimal.
I gave a lot of common workings a 1. I mean,
Yeah,
those are
I
my average.
well, if you would have went through them all, I probably would have given some of them ones too. But I'm fine with 2.8. That's fine.
Rare, 2.69.
2.9 on rare.
A little more optimistic on the rest.
I am.
Epic is only 2.7.
Yeah, same 2.7. Wow,
That's not good for us.
that's not good that we agree on stuff. That's bad,
It's not good.
man.
Legendary, 3.1.
I'm at 3.6. I gave some higher
You
legendaries.
love a lot of the bullshit they added.
I do.
This is that face collector rating. That's what gave you.
It's yeah, face collector. I gave that a 4.
Druid, as discussed, is a 2.1.
Druid for me is a 1.9, and I love that's my favorite class. It's like one of my favorites, so that's sad.
I'm so sorry for you.
I know.
Not really, though. I hate Druid.
I know you hate it.
Hunter is a 2.9.
I'm at a 2.6. I love how our average
Really
is.
hoping that'd be higher.
True. You're higher than me because you're way more optimistic.
Mage is a flat 3.
I have a 3.5 for Mage because Talkie the
But
Time
again,
Tinker.
they're losing so much.
They are. They're losing a lot. That's a bad thing.
Paladin's 2.5.
I got 3.1 on Paladin. I think I was more optimistic about Paladin than you were.
I don't want to be optimistic about Paladin. I want Paladin to go to hell.
You want Control Paladin back, just like I do.
I want Control Paladin back.
It's not coming back.
Priest is a 3.2.
I'm at a 3.3, so we're really close there.
But again, another class that's losing a big chunk of their core package.
Yeah, but just think, it doesn't have Dostfall and Aviana, so...
That's true. But they get countered by it, Michael. You know, those Temporis decks.
they get countered by it.
Rogue, 2.4.
I'm at 2.8. I gave them a little bit more than you did.
Shaman, surprisingly only a 2.8, even though I know I handed out some 5s in there.
2.9.
I guess they had enough shitty cards to bounce back down.
Yeah, some of their cards are pretty bad.
Warlock is a 3.1.
Oh, I'm at 3 even. Wow, I'm lower than you on that Warlock.
Because I'm scared of them.
You're
scared of the power.
I'm scared to give them a lower rating.
Warrior is a flat 3.
I'm at 3.3. I must have liked some cards.
Surprised you were more optimistic about Poison.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Neutrals as a whole are 2.55.
I'm at 2.9.
And for the whole set, a 2.7.
Whole set 2.9. We're really close.
I don't like how low that whole set power rating came in.
Well, I was watching some stuff today, and they did say that they're gonna start with like some low power for the first set, and then the next set's just gonna go through the freaking roof.
Well, that's how it's always worked.
Yeah.
But I'm just comparing this in my mind to Whispers and Ungoro. And Ungoro was better than this.
Ungoro was
an amazing set.
Ungoro was better than most of the sets.
Ungoro is an amazing set.
Yeah.
I really love Ungoro.
Okay.
I hope this will bring the sunny days of Ungoro back to us.
So Drew,
I think we're in Warlock purgatory for the
for one more one to.
We can only hope that when the 2-month patch comes around in June, that Warlock just gets a big fat Ben Bird shit on them.
I don't know. We'll see. I think the community will try to
I
force
really
that.
like a nerf to Divine Favor too, please. I don't really care.
It's not gonna happen, Drew. Just stop it.
Want it.
The only way that happens is if that gets put into like, that puts in the Hall of Fame, which I don't see that happening.
Alright, so Michael.
Top.
Now that we've gotten sad, let's get happy.
Yeah.
Let's go back and forth down our 10 most wanted legendaries.
Gotcha.
Starting from the ones who want the least.
Oh.
Moving down.
Okay. So I'll start. The one I want the least. Man, I hate
of your top 10.
of my top 10. Yeah, these are top 10 legendaries, guys. I'm gonna put. See, this is sort of a tie for 1 and 2 because they put the bottom 2 because they do the same thing. So I have both Gen Greymane and Baku the Moon Eater. because
know.
I want them to be able to do all that theory crafting stuff.
I have
So,
Hagatha down there.
so I have them as 10 and 9, but they're the same.
And for me, 9 is Azalina Salty. I think she's an interesting aggro tool that I want to use.
Okay, I mean that's fine. So wait, what was your 10 then?
My 10 was Hagatha.
Yeah, yeah, because you didn't give the 10. You gave. Okay,
10 was Hagatha, 9 was Azalina.
gotcha. Okay, so my number 8 is Tess Greymane. I don't particularly see her as like a great card, but I
She's
want to
not.
have fun, like doing stupid things, like playing all these cards and then.
Oh, I understand. Alright, so my number 8 is Countess Ashmore.
Mm,
Uh,
that makes sense.
she's probably the most viable thing to select.
I agree.
But
I agree. She's my number 7. So,
my number 7 is Shutterwalk.
oh, dude, he's way higher from me.
I had to make space on my list for memes.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So my number 6 is Lady in White. I, she's fun at some point. I'm gonna make a really stupid deck with
my
it.
number 6 is Test
Yeah. Um. So number 5, almost exclusively for card art alone, and I just want this. I want to make this a thing. Is Dollmaster Dorian? I love this card. It's definitely my favorite card of the set, but
He didn't make my list.
I don't care. I just like the card.
My number 5 is Chameleos.
That's my number 4.
Let me tell you how mentally conflicting it is that uh, I don't want Priest to succeed in this meta, and I hate Priest, but both Priest legendaries are in my top 10. Let me tell you how conflicting that is.
Yeah, that's gotta be conflicting. Okay, so like I said, Chameleos is my number 4.
My number 4 is Lady in White.
Yeah. Oh, they're next to each other. That's funny.
Yes, they are.
Alright, so number 3 for me, Lord Godfrey. That card is gonna be a nightmare, and I'm gonna love it.
If I were rating things on pure power, he'd probably be on my list, but I simply want I want everyone to be wrong. Because I haven't seen a single high-level player say that he'd be bad. In fact, most of them are saying he'll be broken as hell.
Yeah.
And I want all of us to be wrong. So I didn't put him on my list. My number 3 is the Glass Knight.
I should have known. He didn't appear on my list.
Of course.
Number 2, Shutterwalk. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait.
I really thought that'd be your number 1, frankly.
No, you know what my number 1 is, and you hate
Oh
it.
yeah, that's true. My number 2 is Houndmaster Shaman. He's going to be a defining factor in face and mid-range hunter, and I'm going to be right there.
Oh my gosh, I
Defining face and mid-range
can't wait to get Talkie the Time Tinkerer.
hunter. God damn.
I love this card.
She goes on the bottom of my legendaries list. In fact, she goes on the bottom of all legendaries lists.
That's not true. She is not.
My number 1 is Baka the Moon Eater.
Really?
I love the concept of that odd deck where your hero power is just like, I don't think he's gonna necessarily be super good, but I just love the concept of you're playing a weird deck, but your hero power is jacked the whole time. You're just like, yeah. It's like straight from the start of the game. Because Justicar Trueheart was one of my favorite legendaries, even though I never actually owned her.
I never owned her either, but when I got her in random
She's so much
things, she was fun.
I loved the idea of upgrading your hero power, and this guy just does it straight from the start of the game. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah, I understand. That makes sense. So I feel like we have a really good idea going into tomorrow.
Of what we want. Which is terrible, because that means we're not going to unpack any of it.
That is untrue.
That's how it always works.
I want to let you know that I made this list of legendaries, of 10 legendaries that I wanted, and I even had like a little sidebar with ones that I sort of were okay with. And I got like 7 of the 10 last time, but not from the initial draw. This was from overtime.
I was really, really pissed off last time, because I opened my like 110 total packs or whatever. I hit the pity timer fucking twice, and I got all fucking meme legendaries. I was so pissed off.
I have to say, the one legendary that I was sad I didn't get was the candle guy that you got.
No, fuck him. He's not even good enough to meme with. Oh my god.
I've seen some really cool memes. I just want to let you know, Drew, that when you get your first legendary, it is 100% going to be Emrys. Like, I'm
My,
calling.
my free legendary will be Toki Time Tinker, and the first one I unpack will be Everest. Yeah, so you're right. Right, the game knows what I hate, and they're all about it.
I can feel the salt like dripping from your body just listening to this. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh, just please, anything but
I
Druid.
know Hearthstone's game. I know Hearthstone. I know how it treats me. So I just see it coming right now.
Drew, I want your last legendary to be Black Hole Gunspire, just so it makes you keep Rotface.
I'm keeping Roughface. I play him in my controller.
I mean, I have
He's
to.
not great in it, but I play him in it.
Are there any legendaries day one that you will make if you don't unpack?
I will make. Excellent question.
That's a really good question.
Probably Houndmaster Shaw.
Oh my god, you
I
and
think
this card.
he's one legendary where like I'm secure enough in thinking that he will be a part of mid-range hunter that I will mid him if I don't get him.
Right, that makes sense.
Possibly Shudderwalk. Depends on my mood at the time.
Okay, so I'm guaranteed making Shudderwalk because I have the other legendary to go with it. And see, Talkie the Time Tinker really falls into the same one as Rin. Because I loved Rin and I really wanted her, and I ended up getting her later, so I was okay with it. But I mean,
for short women.
True, it's their effects. Shut up. Stop it.
Is that what you call it? Their effects?
It's their effects. Stop it. What? I hate you always do this. You always do this. So Talkie the Time Tinker is really cool. I see, but if I make that, I'm gonna be mad. I hope I just get it. That's one of those things.
What's your bold prediction for the epic you'll unpack the most of?
What's that?
I mean, there's a lot of bad epics here. Pick one.
There
is no shortage of
there's
bad
no.
epics.
It's Spectral Cutlass, 100%.
Special Cutlass?
Yeah, I'm
saying Gloomstag. I'm thinking I get like 7 Gloomstags.
I just feel like it's gonna be something with weapons because last time I just got screwed over with weapons over weapons over weapons, and it was just a nightmare. Knowing me, I'll get like Cathedral Gargoyle because I just shat on that card so hard.
You sent that card to the Shadowrun.
I really did. It's just so stupid. And you were like, well, no, but with the dragons, and I'm like, ugh. I don't know.
I didn't strongly defend it. I'm just saying, like, you can't count out shielding Minibot with taunt, even with a condition like that.
All I'm saying is that I hope I don't get any Druid cards this time.
Now, what would be very interesting to me is I think this set, more than almost any other that we've seen, has the most cards that we'll need to revisit in a year.
Yeah.
Because they have so many cards that are simply muted by the current set of cards that it exists with. Namely, Call to Arms. Like, Paladin is going to have this long list of unplayable 2-cost minions until Call to Arms rotates. And then once Call to Arms rotates, you're like, okay, let's review every 2-cost Paladin minion.
That's true. But, I mean, I still think that... I think a lot of... there's... In sort of almost each class, they're just giving us a taste of what I think's to come, and hopefully they expand upon it just a bit in the next 2 expansions. Something like...
2 words, Free Shaman.
I'm aware that Free Shaman was pretty terrible, and I know that Hunter is pretty schizophrenic at times, but if you look back at Ungoro to here, there's a lot more elementals than there were before.
It's because
And
they invented elementals.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, this expansion seems to have a lot of them. And that's good. Like, I mean, to sort of give some credence.
It's a lot easier to support a tribe than it is to support a archetype.
Right. I mean, I agree with that. But I prefer.
Elementals as a tribe are fine. Elementals as a type have a problem closing games.
Yeah, but you said that even just putting all Murlocs in one deck and playing them, you win like 50% of the
That's
game.
because Murloc is the dumbest tribe.
I like
That's why.
I like Murlocs.
And happily, that will not be nearly as successful.
Oh goodness, no.
Once the current set of Murlocs rotates.
I don't know. It's gonna take a. I fear that they're going to nerf something
Still have
stupid.
Rock Tribe Hunter. Fuck that card.
Oh yeah, you don't like anything.
I don't like Murlocs. I don't like any Murloc. If you show me a Murloc, I will rate it.
I like Murlocs. Murlocs are really good. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I'm sort of.
Now all we have to do is spend the night making terrible decks in Hearthstone's deck builder.
That's exactly what we do.
And then tomorrow, I have to wait for your ass to get home from work so we can open cards together.
Okay, so tomorrow, if you're watching this, or today, if you're watching it tomorrow, because until this video gets up.
Don't make it complicated.
Okay, on April 12th.
Thursday.
On April 12th, Thursday of 2018, we're going to be doing pack openings and battles. Pretty much, we usually do this like till at least. So we start at like 5 p.m. Eastern time. And we go to at least 9. And we'll be streaming live, and then I'll put it all up on YouTube and I'll split it up. We usually have some sort of like 3v3 attack, and then we make the most ridiculous deck available, and we both play it. And it'll be fun. And you can hear us be as super salty. I might even I'll turn my webcam on for this one. You really need to get a webcam, man, so we can. I want to see the salt in your eyes when you draw the worst cards available.
I'm going to draw those cards.
Yeah, we probably will both do so.
You know that we'll accidentally ditto each other with test premium decks.
I know. I realize that. We'll also both do the Shabberwalk or whatever. The Shutterwalk. Because I have that. I was making that deck at work. Like, that's how much I'm excited about that deck. Except it's super greedy. It is the greediest deck I think I've ever made.
I have a deck that I've built. I consider it the most terrible, awesome, terrible, great deck I've ever made. It's absolutely abysmal. It will have like a 20% win rate, but those 20% of wins will be fantastic.
I look forward to destroying you in our first contest.
Oh, I'm gonna draw none of the pieces that I need. It's gonna die.
I don't know, Drew. You're just not the best like initial deck maker.
Oh, I'm very greedy. I am a deeply greedy.
Your stuff is super greedy.
I require the most out of my pieces, and I refuse to play them for subpar value.
Yeah, I know. That's what gets you in the end. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for tonight. So please join us as we enter the Witchwood tomorrow.
How many packs are you popping exactly?
Well, I'm popping. I have 74, and then we get 3, so that's 77. Plus, I want to let you know right now that I have. Oh, jeez. I have enough to get. I am 5 coins short of 55 packs.
I think I'm at 59 packs from gold.
I'm 5 coins short, so I'll probably do the thing that gets me my that finishes the. Get over here, calculator.
You get 3 wins.
Yeah, or something like that, like the arena thing where you get your refund, and hopefully I will get 5 gold in that specific scenario.
Oh yeah, we get that too. So I might have a little bit more.
Yeah, so I will. So I'm looking at the average of 55 plus 74 plus 3, so 132 decks. That's a lot for like a new expansion.
Yeah, we started saving a little early, and they're giving us the 20 extra packs, which is
Yeah, I think there's 20 extra packs because I feel like I
70 packs for 50 as a pre-order is just frankly what it should be.
it should always be that, and I fear that it's not going to be that way, and this is great.
Yeah, because they're not advertising it as 70 packs. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's 50 plus you get 20 bonus packs, and it's
yeah, they keep advertising it that way, and that's just.
And it's like, no, just
say 70 packs. Just say it.
because I mean, what's the minimum amount of? So if I have 132 packs, what's the minimum amount of legendaries? Now note that you get an automatic one, and you get one within 10 packs.
Yeah, so you get 2 legendaries in the first 10 packs, essentially. Then after that, you have 122 packs left. If you are the unluckiest son of a bitch on earth, you'll only get 3 more legendaries.
All right, so I tend to average about 8 an expansion.
I usually average like 6 to 7. Last expansion, I got 5, which was depressing.
See, I hit the pity timer.
Hit 2 pity timers.
I hit a lot of pity timers for epics, and for epics, and like not very many legendaries. I do pretty well. So all right, I'm super excited. Like it's gonna be hard to. I'm gonna be at work. I feel it. I'm gonna be at work at like 1 o'clock, like watching people on stream opening packs. Like that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'll probably be watching random videos and listening to stuff.
It's gonna be killing me.
I'll have work to distract me. I have more than enough stuff to get done with it. So.
Yeah, well, I can do that. I can listen and sort of handle that. So, okay, well, until tomorrow. If I wish you Witchwood dreams, then Drew will get really upset.
That is not a kind wish. Why would you do that?
So I would like to wish you a Control Warlock Knight.
Oh, for fuck's sake.